So Healthcare Transaction Advisors is a national healthcare consulting firm that advises hospitals and physicians on major business deals that allow these parties to work together better to fight disease. Well, we've helped struggling health systems sell off hospitals. We've helped retiring physicians find other physicians to sell their practice and enable a continuation of care for their patients. Well, with the Affordable Care Act, Obamacare, we've had major changes in the health insurance industry, and they've created what's called minimum essential benefits. So that's pushed a lot more money into the mental health sector and the addiction treatment center sector. And we've also seen health insurers like Medicare change the way that they pay for physicians for medical services. So just the fundamental way that physicians get paid has changed. So physician practice valuations have gotten more complicated because instead of just getting paid for every office visit, for every patient that comes in, physicians are now getting paid on their outcomes and their quality scores based on individual clinical metrics. So it's added a new element of complexity to appraising a practice and trying to get to a fair number. So 10 years ago, we had predominantly physician-owned medical groups, and now with all these baby boomer physicians retiring, they're not only trying to sell their practices to their partners or other physicians, there's now a big play to sell their practices to hospitals and health systems who have not traditionally employed physicians up until 7 or 8 years ago. So the sophistication of the buyer of healthcare businesses, particularly physician practices, has increased. So now we have very serious financial buyers buying practices, and they tend to be a little more sophisticated and shrewd business people rather than one physician selling his ownership to his partner. So oftentimes we can serve as independent fair market value appraisers who are hired by both parties to come in and give an objective assessment of what the business ownership is worth. And that provides some independence, and it enables the parties to move beyond just price and talk about the other aspects of the transaction. Well, at some point we're going to get to a level where there aren't as many physician practices to be sold. We'll get over this baby boomer hump, and we'll have a lot of employed physicians who are working for hospitals and health systems, the folks who are my age. And I think we'll start to see it swing the other way, where they want to go out and work on their own. They don't want to be employees anymore. So I think we'll see in the next 3 to 5 years a shift back towards entrepreneurialism. Well, HTA is expanding from providing just services into licensing data products and industry research. So this year we're licensing more and more data and research to other consulting firms. So companies that were our competitors are now becoming our clients. I like to think of it as moving up the supply chain. So instead of just providing the labor that provides the consulting services, we're also providing the data intelligence that the labor uses in the consulting industry. Well, our competitive advantage is really speed. Unlike the big consulting firms, there's only 2 layers at our firm. So we endeavor to get all project reports out within 1 week. Whereas with the big consulting firms, it could take 4 to 6 weeks or more. And sometimes we'll actually beat our 1-week deadline, and we'll get things out to clients in 3 or 4 days. So in the high-end consulting industry, we found that we sent out, I think, probably 60 email marketing campaigns and probably over 10,000 mailers. And we really didn't get any business out of any of those. We learned over time, over 2.5 years, that our major driver of new business was just face-to-face meetings with prospective clients. So I go on a sales trip pretty much every month now to go meet new people, because we usually convert 10 to 20% of the people we meet into new business. Well, I think this is one of the greatest times ever to start your own business with all the technological advances we have. Gas prices are so low. I just flew to Indianapolis last week for $45 to do new business. So, I had a dinner with somebody which cost more than the airfare to fly out there. So it's really a great time if you want to go out and generate a business for yourself to do that from a cost perspective. In addition, it's easier to travel. Like once I get to a city like Indianapolis, I can take Uber car all over the place. I don't have to rent a car, I don't have to stress out or pay for parking. So it's a lot easier to get around. So between Amtrak trains, Megabus, Uber car, Lyft, and the cheap airfare, it's really a great time to go out and have a national business. Well, we looked at several executive suite companies, and what was really appealing about Office Evolution was that it really is a bundled package, and you're not going to get nickeled and dimed for every add-on service you use. So there were some companies we went to where they had a base fee, but then there was an add-on for the internet, and there was an add-on for the phones, and there was an add-on to use the conference rooms, and there was an add-on for telephone service. You know, it was just nickel and diming us. So it was very appealing to come to Office Evolution, and every month I get one bill with one line on it. It's predictable. It's hard enough running a small business without a bunch of hidden surprises popping up every month. Well, one of the greatest benefits for me, and it wasn't at the beginning but it is now, is the drop-in business spaces. So we have this location here in Lone Tree, which is in the suburbs where we live, but there's also downtown locations in downtown Denver. So if I ever go down there and I have 1 or 2 meetings, I can drop into one of those locations and stay productive during the day instead of sitting around in a Starbucks all day.